Right. This is not what we saw at the conference. So where are we? Like, what's happening?
So what we showed last night was one of our main story missions, right? And that's, obviously a big tie to our main story, what's happening with Peter. But big part of fantasy of being Spider-Man is to swing around New York City, and we're going to deliver that big time. We create our biggest open world we've ever made, and in between our missions, our main missions, you can do a bunch of different open world activities, crimes, collectibles, quests, everything, and really fulfill that Spider-Man experience.
Wow.
How do you handle that transition between huge open world traversal, which is so crucial to the Spider-Man experience, and it's on a massive scale, but then transitioning from that into the combat, which is quite focused and close? Like, what challenges do you have to overcome in that transition there?
It's really hard, but I'll let Ryan, because he's a lot smarter than me.
Well, I don't know. It actually depends a lot on our animation team. Right. Like, our animation team does it so much for our transition, either getting into them or even just beats in the mission, right, between a combat setup and the next traversal challenge. So a lot of animation, a lot of work goes into that too, making some of our levels designed so that you can load in easily.
Spider-Man,
I mean, this is what I'm here for.
Look at that.
So, how did you approach this? Because this is what everyone wants. That experience of swinging through New York with Spider-Man is such an iconic and crucial facet of feeling like you're Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was the first thing we started working on. Immediately once we got this project going, started working on traversal. We knew it had to be physics to start with, webs attaching to buildings. So that was super, super important. It was just finding what felt right, making sure that we were helping get around things and over things in a really fast and acrobatic way, making sure that all the animations that connect you, again, are looking amazing. That just took a ton of work to find all the different places and things that you wanted to do. The fire escapes that Jacinda's team needed on the buildings, we didn't have those initially. We didn't have those initially, right? It's just square buildings because it's a test level, right? But then once we looked at what New York actually looked like, there had to be fire escapes.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the challenges we had. That we want to make sure that it's like a superhero playground.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to traverse on things like walls, the ground. So if you guys play a demo, you should definitely check it out because a square foot of New York City is traversable.
Fantastic. And how did you strike that balance between first creating a New York that is authentic and looks like New York, but at the same time, I guess you've got to make it a place that is fun for Spider-Man to move around. Did you take any artistic liberties with certain places just to make them more fun to swing through?
For the most part, it's fairly accurate to what New York City would actually be. We actually did make some buildings a little bit taller because you do need a certain amount of height to swing from a building. But because we actually have web attachments, like, for example, you can actually swing through Central Park, the trees are a little bit higher, and there's probably a lot than you would expect. But that's how we made the city a little bit more diverse.
Awesome.
What about bringing Spider-Man to life? Because even on the streets, the movements, we get a little bit of this, a little bit of a joke.
Yeah, so when we started working on this project, one thing we talked about was we wanted New York as a character for us, right? It's its own character. And part of that is how lively it is. We want to have a lot of cars, a lot of vehicles, a lot of people, but if we just didn't interact with them. So, he can, instead of punching them, he'll or wave, and then some characters you can actually interact with, like we can do high fives,
really?
Take a little selfie with them and everything. So
so
yeah, I mean, we want it to be even though he swings a lot, there are going to be players who are going to go down the ground, and we want to have opportunities where you can interact with the NPCs. They'll also run away if there's a crime nearby. Sometimes clap and be happy when you succeed. It's just one of those, like I said, New York was really important for us to get right, not only just the look and the feel, but also just how alive it is.
Yeah, this is fantastic. It's like, this is what Rob hasn't stopped talking about. This is what I've always wanted. I just want to swing around. But now I'm like, maybe I just want to be on the ground.
It's been a dream project for a lot of us in Insomniac, so to see it, I just want to grab a controller and play it on one of these projects.
So do I, quite frankly.
Yeah, this screen is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think it is being played live at the moment. It's just, I just wanted you guys to tell us all about the game instead.
Yeah, it's I mean, and this is like, one thing about this is so Adam just completed what we call a fist base installments out in the city, and as you complete these open world activities, you'll earn these tokens, and you can spend the tokens to customize. And we always want you to be the Spider-Man that you want to be, so you can unlock new suits, suit mods, new gadgets, and upgrade those along the way.
Can we get some examples?
Sure. So you see that little one in the top right-hand corner is called the Web Blossom.
Yep.
So that's actually a suit power that you can. And do you remember in the first combat room from Raph? He does that big twirly thing and the webs go everywhere.
Yep.
That's the Web Blossom. It's like a super move.
Oh, cool.
And most of the suits actually come with a suit power, and you actually can match them. So say if you like, our Noir suit, but you want Web Blossom, you can take that and place it there, or whatever the Iron Spider suit comes with, you can take that and place it on there. So
Can you change on the fly, or do you have to go to?
you have to go to the menu to change it. But and that now, like for example, he has this web shooter attached. You can upgrade the web shooter, have more shots, faster reload, and then same thing for a bunch of our gadgets. And look at that New York City.
I was like, behold the power of the PS4.
There it is. I mean,
What was this? An applause from the audience.
Good job.
That is incredible.
yeah, it's by far the biggest game we've ever made, and
That's still a guilty pleasure of mine because I like to just climb to the highest buildings and just do a swan dive.
yeah.
Wow.
It feels awesome.
Yeah, so they're actually playing the actually only a very small portion of the playable area in the city. So we have multiple districts, and this is really basically one district with maybe a couple corners of other. It's a massive world.
And so how do you bring a massive world to life activities then? Because, okay, swinging around is fun, but we want to do stuff in that world too.
Ryan, I'm not sitting on.
Your eyes have never